Today, we're going to take a look at the advanced analytics from the next-gen stats over at NFL.com. Look at the charts. Look at some players we may want to buy, sell, hold, and trade here in the near future. Come up with some ideas on some other players due to some certain circumstances with these teams and everything else to help you build your team going into the fantasy playoffs. That's right around the horizon. We got to be a little bit early in planning for the future because that's what you do when you plan. Before we dig in, though, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're going deeper than anybody else on YouTube in the fantasy football space when it comes to covering the waiver wire, strategizing around the waiver wire, and finding those hidden gems. We're deep diving all the trending prospects here. Whenever a player gets the starting job randomly, they will get a deep dive. You will know more about that player than anybody else in your league. On top of that, we're going to help you set your lineups later in the week like we always do. Click that button. Stop missing out. It's free. It is a free resource. Ric Flair's watching. Don't disappoint Ric Flair. I got a funny one here. I got some jokes. We all got jokes on this one. Dylan Gabriel and Jerry Jeudy here. Dylan Gabriel, from what we've seen, obviously one of the worst quarterbacks we've ever seen out on the football field at the NFL level. On top of that, most of his pass attempts and completions to the left. Browns changed up the play calling, went to Tommy Rees, pretty much told Jerry Jeudy, we're only running routes to the left. I think there's a trend there. Like, we're only going to the left. And I imagine Jerry Jeudy's only going to run routes to the left. Well, how does this matter for fantasy football? There's some change here. There's some change going on here. We got a little bit more movement in this game. Not much, nothing great, but it was a little bit better in this matchup. It was a little bit softer matchup. The Jets came in without their top guys, obviously, due to the trade deadline. I think to get ready for the future, if you're in a super flex league, you need to be thinking about or rostering Shedeur. Like, if you're in a super flex league, you got the spot, and he should have already been rostered in most of them that are deeper, but Shedeur's coming up soon. That's happening. Not next week. Gabriel's somehow going to start another game, but that's happening sooner than later. And when Shedeur's out there, one thing we can say is we got some mobility. We will get you a little floor with rushing, but he will push it downfield. He will be a little bit more aggressive. Whether you believe he's good or bad, it's hot topic. I understand. It doesn't matter. It does matter, but in a one-game scenario, just being able to push it, just being able to be aggressive with it, just having cojones back here to push it downfield, take the time and take the hit, take the time to look and process. That's going to help Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman. So you may want to keep your bullets in the chamber for that if you're in a deep enough spot. Rationale says don't go after Browns, but there's going to be some changes. Jerry Jeudy is going to be a hot piece off the waiver wire on all the waiver wire sites there in Big Fantasy, and they did switch some things up. They're attacking that left side, obviously, from what you're seeing, and then you're getting a lot of mesh there, including the tight ends, getting them involved because that's all we're really targeting. We got Phantom with 7 targets. Sean Tucker. Rachaad White, even with Bucky out, might be a massive sell right now. He's just not efficient. He's struggling to get the 4 yards per carry in a lot of these games. Mostly he's around the 3s and 2s in yards per carry. He's never been efficient running the football. He's worse this year. He's good at catching the ball in the backfield. He's a good money ball play for PPR. We're seeing Sean Tucker get some more work. And he's in waiver wire content for a lot of sites because I've been perusing. For me, that's a sign that Rachaad White is start to get plucked out of the short yardage work, anything up the gut. Like, you're going to start seeing less of him unless they got to keep him out so they don't tip their hat all the way that they're rolling him out in the passing game. I think Sean Tucker is going to start getting more work. I think he's going to be more of a touchdown gamble if you want to go that route off the waiver wire. We're watching Bucky, of course. I think Rachaad White, you're only using him as a PPR gamble catching balls out of the flat, but I think his days are numbered. TreVeyon Henderson. This was a great matchup for him. This is a great matchup for his skill set against the Bucs, and this is what we were waiting for. When you look at those top flight running backs in the league during their rookie season, they all had like little ramp up periods. Some were better than others, like Bijan and Saquon. They were still hitting. They just really hit in the back end of the season with bigger weeks in the final 5 games. But you're looking at like Jahmyr Gibbs, nothing for like the first 6 weeks, then blast off. TreVeyon Henderson gave you a little bit of signs of life, and you can't be impatient with rookies. You just can't be. So this could be the sign of blast off for him. Terrell Jennings got banged up in this game. We're looking at Steve-O. Steve-O has been struggling to be efficient. He's just kind of safe for this team when it comes to anything without the ball in his hands, pass protection, steps in the backfield. TreVeyon Henderson, one thing I'm seeing on him in the tape prior to this game is he just needs to let the nuts hang on the table. It's a little bit like skittish compared to what we're used to seeing at Ohio State. Processing, speed of the game, not being assertive with his approach to line of scrimmage when he sees it, just taking that little quarter second, half second to make his decision, not fully trusting himself. But moments like this allows running backs like this to start trusting themselves. We could see more out of him on the back nine of the season. This team's cooking. Drake May's cooking. And a running back with this pedigree, 5-star recruit from a major program that cooked in college with high draft capital, that's on a team that's cooking with a quarterback that's cooking. There's a lot of things that's pointing yes here. Mack Hollins. So he's going to be in a lot of waiver wire content this week. He was in our waiver wire content for the last few weeks. The thing about him is he's going to command those deep targets. And he's going to hit about once every other game, once every 2.5-ish games. He's going to hit big. And he's got good hands. He's done this with every team he's been with where he just randomly pops off with big production. That's Mack Hollins. We've been saying this every year. Every year around November, I bring up Mack Hollins in the waiver wire. And he brings himself up because he's solid. He's a solid playmaker. Drake May doesn't care either, so he'll go his way. So if you're looking for a gamble flex, he's going to hit about every other game or so. You're not going to know which ones, but games like the Bucs where there's extra firepower in that matchup, high over-unders, however you want to measure it. You're looking at the quarterback play. You know it's going to be a shootout. That's a wide receiver to look at. But against stingy defenses where May has to go to the second, third read, he's a good wide receiver to target too. He's got nasty hands. He's open when he's covered. You chuck it up to him. This is a wide receiver to have as a bullet in your chamber just in case you got to make that gamble off the waiver wire. Jalen Nailor. I'm not going to approach this. I'm not going to chase this. I'm not trusting McCarthy all the way. I saw the targets to Addison and Justin Jefferson. It just didn't fire. I mean, it was 12 and 11, if I remember right. They got well over 20 targets combined. He got 6. He performed well. He broke it loose. He had a good game. I'm not chasing this. I'll look at this for deeper leagues and matchups that might be more explosive. I might look at this more for DFS. I would also try to buy Addison on the low. I think Justin Jefferson, no one's going to move off him. But Addison will be getting work still. He did get work. It just didn't fire. And with that being said, I would try to buy Addison on the low. I would look at Nailor as possibly being the catalyst for that movement. See how you can do. Just be creative. Alec Pierce was a big get off the waiver wire last week. He's still in waiver wire content. The thing about him, he's going to be a good gamble for the flex. If not, a good gamble wide receiver too. Anointing that high. He's got upside. He's a deep ball dandy. The chart says it. I've been saying this all along. It's what we saw last year. He popped off in 3 or 4 games last year. Blew up big time. Bigger than this. All he has to do is bring in one of those deep balls in a game, and it's over. He's going to help you win your week. That's what you're getting. He will have a few down games. There's a lot of competition in this offense from Downs to Pittman to Warren, and Danny Dimes spreads the ball around. But if he's got to push it deep, who's he going to push it deep to? A.D. Mitchell's gone, so he's safer now. I like him more now. Alec Pierce is a good bet off the waiver wire, but he should have been picked up. Should have been picked up last week. He's a good gamble for your flex. And the thing is, these Colts matchups, he's not going to hit every game. But every game, he's a decent start now going forward. He's not going to hit every game, but he's got good chances of doing this in a lot of games. Odunze is back. but also you're looking at where these targets are at. Over the middle, picking on those safeties, short to intermediate too, but he gets a deep downfield a lot. They like to push it deep downfield with him and get those deep targets. But what you're seeing, you saw this against the Bengals, they pick on that middle area of the field, around the safeties, around the tight ends. Now you may see, hey, Bruce, that's football. That's what they always do. We analyze these charts all the time. We analyze these changes. Prior to that, earlier in the season, Odunze more outside pushing it as we were going over his charts. So now they're trying to get him more involved. You're seeing him in the slot a little bit more too. They're moving him around. This team's being a little bit more creative. So Odunze is going to be fine. I would also look at Luther Burden as a nice stash right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if he emerges big back into the season. He missed a lot of training camp, missed a lot of mini camp. Should have been drafted in the first round, fell to the second. Former 5-star recruits. Didn't have big production at Missouri because it's Missouri, but good market share production, good route running, like ahead of schedule when it comes to his route running decoration or whatever you want to call that. Pedigree, that's a better word because I'm trying to figure out words to say. I can't talk that well. But Odunze, the Bears, Caleb Williams, like he is in the middle of everything here. Like some people hate him, some people don't like him. I think he's great for fantasy. Like he pushes it, he's aggressive, and he's an aggressive quarterback. And sometimes that's not going to play out right, and sometimes that's going to be cash money. DeAndre Swift, Kyle Money Guy. So I did a panic video last night, and someone asked about Kyle Money Guy, why he wasn't really in it. I imagine that what the question was. There wasn't much context to it. And the reason why is because for Kyle Money Guy, we did not know going in. Our expectations was a little bit more workload, a little bit more consistency, and then the roll the hot hand in game. So I wasn't really going to panic over something if I wasn't expecting him to get all the workload anyways. That wasn't the expectation. Someone asked who was going to score the touchdown between the two, and I gave it a 50-50 shot, and I gave him the context like before that big breakout game, there was no 50-50 shot. It was more like 70-30 shot or whatever. DeAndre Swift ran hot prior to him being out. They're going to ride the hot hand, and with Money Guy being solid, that might nuke him a little bit. That might slow him down a little bit. That might be the panic you're thinking about, but also both running backs, I think they're going to play off each other well. I think they might be more gambles week to week, but this team's also in fire game scripts, mainly due to Caleb Williams with how aggressive he is. Swift's been solid in the open field. He's been all right, and you're looking at Money Guy. They're going to use him a little bit more. And they're going to roll the hot hand. And they said they're going to roll the hot hand. The thing is, you thought Money Guy was the hot hand, but prior to Swift being out, he was a hot hand as well. They got two hot hands, and they're just going to love life and play football with it, and they're just going to divvy up the workload. I think Money Guy will get a little bit more work, and if he runs hot, they're going to keep him out there. Roman Wilson. He's more of a deep league stash. I'm stashing running backs more, the Allgeiers, the Corums, the Brian Robinson Jr.'s, the backups, the studs, more than wide receivers in traditional 12-man leagues. That being said, the aha moment, 16-team plus, Roman Wilson is a stash. He is a big play from last year's draft class, was banged up last year. Decorated route runner out of college, good speed, killed it at the Senior Bowl. We're just waiting for more moments out of him. I just don't see the Steelers fueling multiple wide receivers. He's more of a dart throw, money ball play in deeper leagues. You're looking at Kimani Vidal. The thing about him is he'll hit every other game. But this Chargers offense is so equipped here that you got to start him every game. So I expect him to hit every other game. If he has another down game, and Marion's not back, then you buy that week. You don't buy him when he's on the up. But you watch him in Hampton, you watch that. He's hitting roughly every other game. You look at his scoring, it's every other game. Kimani Vidal's hitting. That is the trend here. They get him out in space. Some games he just does not get the carries, and they got to rock the passing game. They could just throw it all day. They have the wide receivers to do that. They are deep at wide receiver. They're one of the deepest teams in the league at wide receiver with talent. They can definitely do that. If a wide receiver goes down, it ain't going to bother them that much. They're so deep at wide receiver. Like Keandre Lambert-Smith might be starting for some teams right now. They're that deep. You're looking at Justin Fields. This is comical. This is also with Garrett Wilson out, but you're looking at Justin Fields here. It's rough. I can't start any Jets players. I can't do that. You're hoping AD Mitchell steps in and gets deep balls, and you're gambling with that in DFS. Redraft wise, 16 team plus. I did a you need video on that because a lot of people had questions about AD Mitchell. You get a you need video when a player's got a lot of questions. And I said it in the video. The quarterback play, the Jets, it's the Jets. If you're looking for a deep ball dandy, potentially, it's more of a 2026 play, and maybe 2027, potentially, if he's still here, with the quarterback play, because they're probably going to draft one, and they're probably going to try and figure that out. Right now, you're not looking at Jets. Breece Hall cashed. Breece Hall cashed big on that big play. That helped this team out big time. Tyler Allgeier is probably the best handcuff in football, and nobody talks about him enough. And he's going to get talked this week. People are going to act like they're trendy talking about him, like they've been in the know, but where's their content at? Where have they been at on week 3? Where were they at week 3 talking about Tyler Allgeier as one of the best handcuffs in football? And I'm not talking lottery ticket stashes. Lottery tickets earlier in the season, yes. We're in double-digit weeks now. People are going to fight for him off waiver. They're going to fight the fab. We don't want to fight the fab. That's why we talk about all these backs. If I had Bijan, I already had Tyler Allgeier cuffed. And because of Bijan went down, you don't want to fight the fab. Now he's going to fight some fab. He's proven that. He's showing that. He had some moments this season where he popped off a little bit. He's going to pop off a little bit more. We are early because we don't want to fight the fab on prospects that are backups that have upside. And this situation is going to give him upside. He's shown it before. He was the starter before and was a 1,000-yard rusher. He's got some good size. He can handle a lot of workload. He won't be Bijan, but the Tyler Allgeier we've seen, that's great. Those are the players that we're looking at. Buy, sell, holds, and trades from the advanced analytics. Who you're looking to trade for, let me know in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.